reaction, discussion, our post-fight show. If things look a little bit different today, it's because for whatever reason in Los Angeles, Spectrum Internet is down, especially here in San Pedro. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This city, this state, it needs a little bit of help. But anyway, until the internet comes back, I got to do this from my phone. And it looks like it's out all over the place. But Caleb Plant, Caleb Truax, let's talk about it because there's a few things to take away from this fight. There really are. And first things first, I got to admit, I was wrong. I thought, even though I thought Caleb Plant would take this thing easily, and he did do that, and he pitched a shutout today. I mean, he beat Caleb Truax every minute of every round. This wasn't a close fight at all. Shutout in my book. It looks like the judges agreed. Just not even close. But, I thought that Caleb Plant was going to get the finish by round number 8 or so. Caleb Truax was able to survive into the 12th round and into the decision to lose a unanimous decision. Caleb Plant did say that he hurt his hand in this fight, and that may have sort of hindered him from trying to go after the finish. Maybe he was too hesitant. If you asked me, I think it was the latter. Of course, if your hand's compromised, you're not trying to, maybe throw it full strength. But nonetheless, I thought Plant would get Truax out of there. I thought he'd make a bit more of a statement, although it was a shutout win and he did a very good job. I thought he'd make the statement by getting the finish. That didn't happen. So, we were right on who won. We were wrong on how this was going to end. I thought this was going to end before the 8th round. I thought Plant had opportunities to end this fight. I'll be honest with you guys. I thought Caleb Plant had opportunities to end this fight and just didn't really step on the gas, didn't kick it into, overdrive the way he needed to. He won this fight very comfortably. And there was no real urgency for him to I guess, get Truax out of there. So, it is what it is. Caleb Plant got the unanimous decision. Couple takeaways from this fight, though. And by the way, give me a second here, guys. Give me 1 second here, guys. Yeah, so, couple takeaways from this fight. The first one is, Caleb Plant was hit a lot of times by the right hand in this fight. That I didn't like. I thought he showed a lot of susceptibility to getting hit with that right hand. And it was against a guy in Truax who, isn't really any sort of special athlete, if we're being honest with ourselves. I mean, I didn't think he should be getting hit that many times by Caleb Truax in this fight. So that was a big takeaway, and I felt like he wasn't able to adjust to that right hand. And, obviously when I'm talking about this, I'm thinking down the line and what's going to happen to him when he fights Canelo. So that was my first takeaway. The other takeaway is, the pace of Caleb Plant. I know Uzcategui pushed the pace a little bit more, and we saw a better pace from him in that fight. In this fight, he was able to kind of sit back and relax. He's not going to have that luxury, I believe, against a guy in Canelo Alvarez who's going to be trying to walk him down for the entirety of the fight. So, I didn't love this fight to warm him up for Canelo. If anything, it showed him he's got to be careful with that right hand, that overhand right. Canelo will see that. Canelo will land it. And if he doesn't shore that up between now and September, which I don't think he's going to be able to, he's going to get hurt with that punch. And with that sort of hole in his defense, if you want to call it that. Now, I know I may sound like I'm downing Caleb Plant here. Listen, I think he's a fantastic fighter. All credit to him. I think he's really talented. But, I'm looking at it as, what's he going to look like against a Canelo Alvarez? Because that's the end goal. What's he going to look like against Canelo Alvarez. And, if this is, if this is the best he could sort of do, um, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. He got caught with too many right hands for my taste against a guy who's nowhere near the level of Canelo Alvarez. And he pitched a shutout, but I actually, was expecting him to get the finish tonight. So great performance, don't get me wrong, but against very limited opposition. And I didn't see anything in the fight tonight that would make me think, this guy is ready for a guy the caliber of a Canelo Alvarez. Give me a second here, guys. Let me see what's going on with this thing. Anyway. So, appreciate you guys joining the chat. We got some homies in here. Much love to you guys in Knucklehead Nation. We got Alex Mark in here. He says, first, appreciate you being in here, Alex Mark. He says, fair fight, but yo, can't wait for Canelo versus Caleb. Should be a good fight, Again, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Caleb Plant. I mean, look, I think he's one of the most talented guys at 168. But, he got hit, again, he got hit with too many right hands for my liking. I think he should have been able to get Caleb Truax out of there. He showed great boxing skills. We already knew he had that. I thought he looked good, but not Canelo good. Not Canelo good. I like his defense, but obviously there's a hole in the defense with that right hand landing over and over again. He's going to have to pick that left hand up and be able to get out the way. Otherwise, Canelo's going to expose that. Caleb Truax, a valiant effort. Good on him. But I didn't see the point. If I'm being honest with you guys, if my fighter has lost every single round up until the 11th round, hasn't shown me that he can get the other guy out of there with a big punch or anything like that, I don't see the point in even continuing with the 12th round. Maybe that's just me. I felt like when he was being shut out through 10, 11 rounds, but I didn't see the point. Again, landed a couple good right hands, but he had no chance in there today. King Muggin says, I knew Sweet Hands would win, but he should have knocked Truax out. Canelo will knock out Sweet Hands if he doesn't do something different. I can't really disagree with you there, King Muggin. My brother, much appreciated, man. I can't disagree with you there. I mean, listen, he better do something different. He better do something different because that's not going to work for him against Canelo Alvarez, man. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like, he's not going to let him rest so much. He's not going to let him rest so much. He's not going to be able to get away with that right hand landing on his face like that. He's going to have to tighten up. And I see PBC, they're trying to sell that Canelo fight, and I don't blame them for it. That's the money fight. And Caleb Plant should take that fight. Listen, ideally, I believe Caleb Plant should have one, maybe even two more fights before he goes in there with a Canelo Alvarez. But with all the money involved and all those stakes, high stakes involved in a Canelo Alvarez fight, he can't say no. He can't say no. Let's see what's going on in the chat real quick, you guys. So big shout out to the official Knucklehead, a member of the channel, King Muggin. Appreciate you being in here, brother. Now, by the way, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below, the bell notification icon next to it. Like this video so the Facebook algorithm helps us out. You can join the channel for just $5 a month. You can help me grow this channel and the only kickboxing promotion that matters, FightersRep Promotions. By the way, we are sanctioned by the IKF as far as our amateurs go, and Caleb Plant was an IKF kickboxing champion, so I think that's also a pretty cool thing to be associated with. Milpillas Jalisco says, Canelo will beat Caleb easy, sir. Caleb is nothing special. You can tell by tonight. I agree with that. I will say, I do think Caleb Plant is a special fighter, I do think he's a special fighter. I do think he's better than the majority of fighters you see today. But, is he special enough to beat Canelo Alvarez? No. For me, Canelo Alvarez right now, number one pound for pound. He's got the talent. He's got the resume. He's got it all. And do I think Caleb Plant at this juncture of his career, 21-0, with a performance like that, is going to be able to beat Caleb Plant? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think, is Caleb Plant going to be able to beat a Canelo? I don't think so. I think Canelo's just got too much for him at this point. Again, I think a couple more fights would serve him well. I used to be a Plant fan. He needs to fight Benavidez. That would be a great fight. That would be a really good fight. Alex Mark says true. JC Desmond in the house says Canelo is just a beast, too much for Caleb. I agree with you, JC. That's what I've been saying on here again. I'm not fanboying out over here or anything like that. But I think Canelo Alvarez is the number one pound for pound guy. JC's I'm moving there in April, brother. Be ready for me. Come on down, man. I don't think you're gonna find a huge improvement over where you're at, man. I'm doing this on the phone because the internet is down in Los Angeles. Basically, the whole damn city, the internet seems to be down. But obviously, best of luck on your move out here and on your whole change from the East Coast to the West Coast. This place is kind of crazy, though, man. I gotta be honest with you. Kenneth Y says Plant should just give Canelo his belt. Well, nobody's gonna do that, Kenneth. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Listen, he's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. He's definitely no worse than Avni Yildirim, who Canelo's going to be fighting on February 27th. So, he definitely deserves the fight. I think, is he as good as Billy Joe Saunders? I don't know. I feel like Billy Joe Saunders probably is a better style for a Canelo Alvarez, if I'm being honest with you guys, than Caleb Plant. I feel like Billy Joe's a little bit more active. He doesn't sit there and think so much. He's working a little bit more. Slick southpaw. He's got boxing skills too. Just a little more volume. I feel like Billy Joe has a little bit more volume. And both are good. Both are good fighters, about on the same level. But I do think Canelo has a tougher time with Billy Joe Saunders, assuming Billy Joe Saunders is motivated. I'm a hustler, bro. I'm going to get shit done, my G. I don't doubt you're going to get stuff done out here. It's just, a lot of taxes, more taxes than even you guys have in New York, brother. And the internet's down. Homeless people all over the place. I mean, this place is, I think we had a net loss of over 130,000 people here. I mean, it's not a place people are moving to. This is a place people are leaving. So, that's just reality. You gotta keep that in mind as you come out here and I guess try to make the best of it. You know what I mean? It's a tough situation out here, bro. Let me see here what these people are saying. Canelo throws haymakers with the intention. Saunders is definitely a better matchup. Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. Saunders is definitely a better matchup. Canelo throws haymakers with the intention to kill you. Sweet Hands has to be beastly to take those kinds of shots. I agree, man. And again, he got caught. A lot of right hands today, you guys. David will give Caleb a beatdown. That would be a great fight. But again, I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens, guys, unless it's after the Canelo fight. I mean, I think Caleb Plant takes the Canelo fight first. There's just too much money. There's just too much money involved to say no to the Canelo fight, Caleb Plant could always lose to Canelo, regroup, and come back. And maybe, be the king of the super middleweights once Canelo leaves the division. At least that's the way I see it. But, who knows? Maybe it's David Benavidez, assuming he could still make 168. Who knows, man? Who knows? David will give Caleb a beatdown. Yeah, I already read that. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. Mad Dog H. Sorry, I'm on this, on this phone right now, guys. Like I said, the internet in Los Angeles for Spectrum. I mean, it's not even working, bro. I don't know what works anymore in this city, man. God bless this city, man. City of Angels, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. The feed looks good though. Thank you, Chet. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I felt bad as shit, man. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna end up going live on my phone like a dork, you know what I mean? Um Canelo will make you think twice when you throw because of his counters. I agree with that. I agree with that. And then, Plant is a bit of a counter puncher himself, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be, I feel like somebody's gonna have to, push the action in that fight. I do think it's going to be, Canelo. We've seen the way he walks people down, walks forward. He kind of did that against Callum Smith. We saw. I mean, I do think Caleb Plant will put up a better fight than Callum Smith. I was very disappointed in Callum Smith, but I still think Canelo is he's still a level above all of these guys. You guys, he's still a level above. Plant versus Truax was a joker fight, like Saunders versus Murray. I don't see Plant or Saunders giving Canelo much trouble. I agree with that. But again, I do think Saunders can give him more trouble. A tip-top, firing on all cylinders Saunders, like the one we saw against David Lemieux, or maybe even like the one we saw against Andy Lee, is a very tough guy to beat. He's a very tough guy to beat. He's very, crafty and clever. And I think he gives anybody a good fight, but he just hasn't looked that great or motivated in his past couple fights. And right now, I see Canelo beating him. Sweet Hands is a boxer and not a slugger. I agree with that. I mean, he can punch. He's got good power. I think he should have been able to get Truax out of there, but he just didn't step on the gas. Easy fight for Canelo. Pled said, line him up and I'll knock him down. He couldn't knock Truax. You're right about that, Alberto. You're right about that, brother. Mr. Flash says Caleb put on a clinic. Let's see here. But I'm going to be honest, I see he got hit with too many jabs and straight rights in this fight. Yup, and overhand rights. And that's what I was saying earlier on in the stream, He got cracked by a guy in Truax who really has to set his feet to punch. I mean, if you notice that about Truax, he can't really punch that well on the move. He's a guy that's very flat-footed and was able to land on Plant. And, if he could land on Plant hard on multiple occasions, then Canelo Alvarez, you guys, is going to be, again, Caleb Plant's going to have to shore that up, man. If not, he'll get knocked out. If you haven't already, guys, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. Smash the like button. Tell me what you think, man. Tell me what you think about, this performance by Caleb Plant. I thought it was a good performance. But obviously, I'm looking at the future, and I'm not seeing anything there that's going to stop Canelo from unifying this division. Tell me what you think about that. Obviously, I'm interested in your opinion there. And this is Get It Right Saturday night, so even though we're on the phone, we don't have access to the Wi-Fi. We couldn't do this the way we usually do it. At least we're getting something done. On Get It Right Saturday night. Enjoy your whiskey, enjoy your, your smoke, whatever it is that you do, and let me know what you think. That's what this is about. Also, if you want to help the channel, you can definitely, anything you guys purchase in the link below. I got my FightersRep hoodie on, as you can see. Anything you guys purchase in the link below gets reinvested right back into the promotion. Also, if you join the channel, just $5 a month. We put out content almost every single day. We'll be doing more interviews with fighters as well. I might actually get Caleb Plant on the channel. I reached out to his agent I think it was yesterday, the day before. So we'll probably get Caleb Plant on the channel. I hope to talk about, this fight, to talk about, how he thinks he'll do against Canelo Alvarez. Um, would be a good conversation. And we've lined up for next week. I got Wilson Ha coming on. He's a Fighters Rep champion. I look forward to talking to him on here. Let me see. Caleb put on a clinic, but I'm gonna be honest. I see he got hit with so many jabs. Yeah, I already read that one. Sweet hands. Better hope for an accidental headbutt. Stop the fight early against Canelo. That's brutal, King Muggin. I'll purchase a hoodie for Katrina. Much appreciated, JC, man. Thank you, brother. Keep her warm, man. I know you're coming out here to keep her warm, brother. I bet she's excited as hell to have you here. And obviously, anything you guys purchase on the channel gets reinvested. So that's greatly appreciated. What it do, my boy, says George Estrada. What's up, my brother? Is it Modelo time where you're at, George Estrada? I hope so, my man. But yeah, I mean, you guys, that's pretty much all I got. I kind of got to get the family today. But, we'll talk about this more as the week progresses. I appreciate you guys joining on, even though we're doing it on the phone as opposed to, how we normally do it. And should be a lot to talk about within the next few days, man. I appreciate you guys being with me. If you're watching this on the replay, leave your comment below. Tell me what you think about this fight. Tell me what you think about the upcoming fight against Canelo. And we should be back to normal within the next couple of days here once Los Angeles decides to bring the internet back. Let me see here. In the post-fight, he said he broke his hand at about the fifth round. Seems like he's getting like Floyd. Second time, I think he's broke his hand. Yeah, I saw that, and I mentioned maybe that had something to do with him not getting Truax out of there. But, to me, he looked a bit hesitant. But anyway, knuckleheads, I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. We'll talk soon. Take care of yourself.